This is the front of my workshop, and I got some issues. My door is riding on the bottom. Same with that one. These are sliding doors. This door has rotted out twice. I've patched it, and it's not rotten. Well, the door itself is getting kind of funky. That corner's kind of rotten. I'm gonna redo the whole front here. Let me tell you why. So you see that door? From the inside, I've sealed it up because I got too many dang doors in this shop. I got these double doors. I can't get rid of those. So I sealed this one up. I had a door going outside there. It now goes under the stairs. And I got these tall windows here, which I put to make it look correct from the outside, but they're just a pain on the inside there. So I'm gonna redo all that, change it up. Oh, I'm taking my papeletry down. When I put it back, and I think I will put it back, it's gonna put it a couple inches further out from the wall. Leaves tend to get crammed up in there, and they're pretty hard to get out, and that's not a good thing. So I'm gonna take it down, but I think I'm gonna put it back. I kind of like it. Okay, I got all the junk, the decorative stuff. I got to get that down off the walls, and I guess now I can take the sliding doors off. I need to go to the depot and get 2 sheets of something to close the hole up while I'm working on the doors. When I do put it back, see how close I have the unistrut to the framing? It ends up where it's hitting the window trim, or is it hit it forever and ever, and then right at the window. When I put it back, I'm gonna space it out a little further. So when I put the new trim, which will be up here somewhere, it won't hit. So with the stops removed from the ends of the unistrut, there's only one. The doors are free to slide off the end. And like a lot of things in the shop, they're not crazy heavy, but they're real awkward. So I was able to get them on the sawhorses without dropping them or breaking the glass, which is kind of my main concern right now. And start taking them apart to check out the inside to see what kind of shape it's in. So we bought this lot in the year 2000, so that's what, 23 years ago. And the first thing we did was to build my wife's studio and this shop, because we wanted to repurpose a lot of materials for the house, buy a lot of salvage, and we needed a place to put them, get them out the weather and store stuff. So I built the shop and the studio first. So these doors are 23 years old, and the bottom half is super exposed to the weather, the sun and the rain hits the concrete, it bounces up on the back of it. So the fact that they've lasted this long is pretty amazing, because that green beadboard, I'm pretty sure it's just pine. I don't think it's cypress. The siding, the tan siding on the front of the shop is cypress, and it's in excellent shape. But the beadboard was done and the trim was done. Now I'm thinking the plywood is probably still in good shape. So the structure where the door skin can stay, I need to remove all that beadboard that's on the outside. And I screwed it from the inside when I put it on a long time ago. So I'm gonna try to get the beadboard off and the window out. And then I'll probably just temporarily stick it back up there and take the other one down and do the same thing. Looking back at this video, I'm wondering why I got myself all jammed up between the 2 workbenches in the front of the shop and half in the shade when it's a cold day. Doesn't make much sense, but I guess I just didn't want to drag these doors a few more feet, put them out on the driveway where I had a lot of room. I don't think I'm as smart as I used to be, and that's a sad statement. Okay, so all these boards got to come off. The trim has to come off. And the window has to come out. I don't think that these would be too hard because they're kind of rotten. Let's see. glued. Got glue.
Yeah, caulk is a carpenter's best friend until 23 years later when you want it not to be there.
No, not too much glue. So my bottom trim board is mahogany. Don't know where it came from. And I got it off. The plywood is in good shape. I split it a little bit here, but it's not rotten. So we're gonna clean it up, put some paint, seal it, and we're gonna use the same plywood to build a new door. Now these things are coming off pretty easy, and they're probably all going in the garbage except maybe longer ones. Now the little unistrut casters are on the inside surface of the plywood, and they've got one bolt in the middle of them. And I'm gonna put them back exactly in that same hole, the same sheet of plywood. But I got to get them off right now. So we got all the screws out at the bottom. Most of them are rotten, and I got the trim off that was around this window, and all the staples pulled. And I'm looking at it. It's been a long time since I made this thing, but I think this was the top of a door, some kind of door. And these boards that you see here were the full thickness, 1.5 or 1 3/8 or whatever it was. And I think I just took the saw and cut a dado, and that's what it looks like. So this window should go out that way. And it's probably got some caulk and stuff behind it. It may not come out at all without breaking. But to do that, I'm gonna flip this over, clean up my mess, flip it over, and try to get this window out without breaking it. Not so much that I want to use it, I just hate to have a bunch of broken glass everywhere. Yep, that's exactly what I did. I took a full thickness door and cut out a rabbet and just set it into the plywood. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with these windows, but don't throw them away because they're good cypress windows. That's why they're not rotten. Door number 2, all the screws pulled out the back. A lot of them are pretty rusty. Yeah, I guess I'll throw these away. Oh, that one came off real easy compared to the other one. All right, both doors are stripped down to their underwear. Tomorrow, I'm gonna start taking off the track, the unistrut, and siding. But yeah, made some progress today. Okay, new day, day 2. Putting up this plywood is a pain in the rear. So I want to get the doors back up. I can't finish the doors because I'm going to use this siding to do the outside of the doors. But I want the doors back up, so I think I'm going to hang them in their naked state. But I got to move the track out. So that's going to be my goal today, is to get that track off. Maybe the siding that goes behind it, and put it back further away from the wall. And I'll hang these doors temporary, and maybe just screw those windows back in temporary because I didn't break them. And then my shop will be lockable. I don't live in a bad neighborhood, but there's always the little crackheads riding around on bicycles at night, checking for open car doors and anything that they can throw in a bike basket and take off with. So I do like to keep my shop closed. So let's get a ladder and see what, I can't even remember how that, I can't even remember how I had that track put together. Let's see if we can figure it out. This is the track itself is screwed from the bottom with these Phillips screws. Those are easy enough. And then for some reason I have these additional clips along here. Getting the track down is going to be pretty easy. Getting the 2x4 out, I don't think it's going to be so easy. I think we have to take off this piece of siding and this piece of siding. And I got a piece of siding on top to act like a drip ledge. I got a piece of sheet metal up there. And I got a feeling it's going to come off in splinters, but but I'm gonna get it off, and it looks like maybe it's a 2x4. I'll replace it with a 2x6 and then put the track back up. We'll be good to go, I think. It's gonna be pretty heavy, and it's pretty long, so I got this end tied up. So as I go and unscrew the other end, it won't fall and bend. I don't want it to bend. Took a little while, but I got the top 2 rows of siding off, and I didn't break them very much, so that if it works out, I can put them back, because it's pretty labor intensive to notch them for all these rafter tails. So now I need to get this sheeting, this flashing off, and it looks like this is another piece of siding to give it some slope. And I need to get this 2x4 off, and I bought 2 new 2x6s. I'm gonna put them right back up there, right where this is. So with everything out of the way, I'm looking at the original header up here, and it looks like it's just nailed. See, there's a nail. Looks like it's just nailed, so I should be able to pry it down without any damage. Now, it is kind of wonky. It's not real, like, it's not flimsy, but it's not rigid either. And my new header is gonna come out 2 more inches, so might do something in addition to the nails. I'm not sure. But let's get this off, and then we can put the 2x6 back on. The old hanger board came off the hard way. It's actually screwed from the inside of the wall out. I guess I did that before I sealed the inside of that wall up. So I just had to make a bunch of cuts until I could find out where the bolt was, and then try to split it. I'm splitting it with a hammer and a pry bar, which I can't do when I'm holding the phone, but these little pieces split pretty easy, and it should come out after that. And there they are. Now I can put the new 2x6 back where this was. It's a rainy day, so I can't work on the front, but I thought I could frame my windows because I know the sizes, but I don't have any suitable material here. I'm gonna have to go to the foundry and get a few more of these 1-inch cypress boards. So then I thought, well, that's that for today. But then I realized this plywood rack that I made a YouTube video on, I need to move it out of the way. And if you remember, or if you watch the video, the wheels I put on it I thought were kind of marginal, and they are. So over the last 6 months, 8 months, or whatever it's been, they've kind of flat spotted on the bottom and they won't roll. But I do need to move this so I can work on these windows. So I can do that in the rain. I'm gonna have to pull out all this plywood and turn it over. And I got some big boy metal wheels that won't flat spot. So I can do that today. I'm gonna get this thing out. And I know it's got a floppy piece of cardboard in here, but most of the plywood is pretty well in order. Surprise, surprise, I turned this thing over and I realized the wheels are welded on and not screwed on. I guess I did that, I don't know why. But you can see I don't know if you can see that. The wheels have a flat spot already just from gravity sitting on there, so no good. Well, I'm gonna cut these off. I did dump out my tech screw bucket, and I think I have enough of the fine threaded tech screws to put 3 in each wheel. All these coarse threaded tech screws, they tend to break when you put them in thick metal. That's pretty thick metal, so I'm gonna take that off, try to get 3 screws in each wheel, and then put a solid wood block, maybe, or maybe not. Anyway, yeah, this is not simple. Anyway, I held the wheel up. I got the other ones off, the top ones. I got a mark where one screw can go. If I get one screw in there, I'll have it licked. Put the screw in without the wheel because it's hard to hold the drill and the screw and the wheel. So once I got a hold, then I'll take the screw back out and put the wheel on. Okay, well that diversion is taken care of. We got real wheels and they're round. We've got them screwed on. I don't think they're ever coming off. I gotta lift this thing up. It's pretty heavy and I think it's gonna want to try to roll away. So I'm gonna put some wood blocks under that so the wheels won't touch. Perfect. The roll's kind of funky because it has 4 swivel wheels. It always wants to go crazy, but I need that because I got kind of tight quarters in here. So it's all good. We're gonna load it back up, and when I get ready to do those windows, I can get it out of the way. Still raining though. Okay, every rafter has a brace, and this little header thing is absolutely strong. Got a lot of little trimming to do above it, but I'm in a hurry to get my doors back up because this is like really inconvenient having this plywood screwed up. So I'm gonna screw up the track and hang the doors. So I cleaned up the unistrut a little bit. Well, actually I cleaned it a lot because it was full of leaves and dirt. Hosed it out. I gave it a light sanding. I'm trying to sand around that corner because that's what the wheels actually ride on. Obviously it's upside down right now. I got a C-clamp on this end and on the other end so I can set it up there and let it go and adjust my ladder, and I'm going to screw it into place. Let's see what happens. It's heavy, but it's not crazy heavy, so shouldn't be that big a deal. Look at that, it worked. Okay, it's up there. I'm gonna leave a 3/4 inch reveal or whatever on the outside edge, and we're gonna screw it up. Shouldn't be any issues at all. Ready to slide the doors back up in the track so I can have some sort of doors, even if there's not much to them. And I couldn't figure the first one out. It just didn't look right. And I realized I put the little trolleys on the wrong side of the plywood. So once I figured it out, laid it down, put them on the other side. The bolts are just hand tight, and got them back up there, and it rolls really well. One down, one to go. Since the trolleys just have one bolt in them and they're kind of loose, they don't want to go into the unistrut. They want to flop over backwards, so you got to get on the ladder and kind of guide them in. Okay, so first thing I'm going to need to do is put the stop in the middle to keep them centered when they're closed. And then I'm going to need to put a temporary stop so they don't fall off the edge if you open them too far. They're all warped up right now, but as I put the finished trim on them, they're going to straighten up. I hope. I have to put a 2x8 on the back of that one, but we'll get it straight. Okay, the trim is off. I started with the window stool, which is just a fake window stool because these are aluminum windows. And it ripped off in splinters, but it got off, and that let me get crowbar under the bottom of these vertical trims. So they came off sort of intact, and the top trim broke up a little bit. I didn't use sissy nails when I built this place. Those are hot dip galvanized, but anyway, I think it's looks like treated pine. Who knows what I did back then. But anyway, the windows will come out easy. I just got to find all the nails and pull them, and I'll try to give these things away. I don't think there's much of a market for them. And then I can frame what you. Gotta see if I have any 2x4s. I don't know if I do or not.
So I had Rudolph up in the attic, and it was enough 2x4s to frame this double window. I had to go to Home Depot and get some more for the door at the other end.
Well, I had enough 2x4s, barely. So I'm gonna get the plywood on these. I do have plywood. So these windows should be the same size when framed out as those windows. And yeah, everything's good. It's getting late. I need to get some plywood up here to try to close this up for tonight. Although I think our rain is done, according to the weatherman, but it sure is dark according to the sky. The aluminum windows are gone. I got the new window size framed up. That's this top part. The bottom part will be sealed. Before I seal it, I'm gonna put a receptacle for outside. I've never had that. That was a big mistake. I was always dragging cords through the doorway. So I gotta do that. And I'm gonna come over here and take this door out. So I have to move all this CRAP, get it out the way so I can open that door and pull the frame out. Looks like when I sealed up this door, I used little gun nails. So all this trim and this plywood ought to pull off pretty easy. The door should open. I might have a screw in it or so. And then we just got to pull the jamb out. Yeah, the top half was very easy. And it looks like the bottom half is going to be just as easy. This plywood can probably go right back up there when I get the framing in. That's these little nails. And caulk. Okay, let me pull all those little nails. Wonder if I got it nailed from the outside. Let me go check. There we go. That piece of flashing was what was holding it. Let's see if I can get the pins out. Let's clean up a little bit. We'll be ready to hammer the framing in there. So wall framing is all done. The windows are covered with plywood from the inside. Wall framing on this side is done. Windows covered up. The window wooden frames are in place, but I think that'll be a separate video because this one's getting kind of long. So I think next video, I think we'll build the wooden window frames, and I'll finish framing out the sliding doors, and then maybe one more video of putting the siding on the outside. I don't know, I hate to get these things too long. Anyway, okay, well, thanks for watching.